Because I got so many texts this week because she attacked me the week before.
Sure.
So everybody was like, oh, Bill, I get you're enjoying the karma. First of all, I'm going to talk about this at the end of my show next week, teaser. But there is no thing as karma, okay? Get over that.
But it struck me that in the first segment you used the term woke, and you said that woke is what was sort of ruining everything. And I know that you're
No, I didn't say ruining everything. I said that's why Trump could get reelected.
That's why Trump could get reelected. So the term woke has been, in my view,
You're a comic, but you basically go after Trump and Biden, both of them. And a lot of people are not happy with you about that.
Equally.
Well, not equally, because you know that Trump is more dangerous.
Of course. I mean, I don't think anybody was more out front on that danger than I was.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about how he was never going to give up power. Long ago, when everybody was laughing at me and said, you smoke too much pot, and I said, I smoke just the right amount of pot.
Finally, new rule. Someone must tell the usual suspects on the far left that the saying is, when you're in a hole, stop digging, not keep digging. Talk about doubling down on what got you in the first place. Even the one concession I've heard a few people on the losing side offer, that liberals should stop saying the Trump voters are stupid, comes with a kind of unspoken parentheses. We know they are stupid, just don't say it. We are not young, but we don't present as old. Biden does. I saw him yesterday making that speech. I mean, I'm sorry, he's Gaddafi-like.
But his brain is good. He's still great.
Once more, the king of chaos strikes. Yes, he nonchalantly threw around Whoopi Goldberg and Sonny Holland's names like they were hot bombs as he tore through the scene like a wrecking ball. That famed intermediary known for his peculiar ability to leave people entirely puzzled.
but it struck me that in the first segment you used the term woke, and you said that woke is what was sort of ruining everything. And I know that you're
No, I didn't say ruining everything. I said that's why Trump could get reelected.
That's why Trump could get reelected. So the term woke has been, in my view, co-opted by the right and weaponized and bastardized. And so I was surprised to hear you use the term, because historically, as you know, because I think you're quite brilliant, that woke is a word used by the Black community to note that we must be aware of social injustices.
But words
and
migrate.
So why is that a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing, and originally that was absolutely a great thing. Alert to injustice, who's not for that? But words do migrate. Now, I'll use any term you want, because maybe that is a word that's triggering, and so let's not use that word. I don't want to call it the super far left, but don't tell me the left
or maybe the super far right.
He's talking about the left. Well, they're
okay,
not woke.
but we talked about that. I mean, I think we agree about the danger of the super far right, and I can't say it enough. I think they're the bigger threat. But don't tell me that the left hasn't changed. I'm old enough to remember when it was the conservatives who hated the Jews.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a joke. But,
Too dark.
Well, maybe it is.
Bill Maher went into full savage mode on his most recent episode, attacking the so-called woke crowd for repeatedly falling into the same trap. There were no lessons learned, just the usual routine of loud outrage and zero self-awareness. And then they went on as if nothing had happened. This time, though, he didn't hold back, and they actually forgot it was a joke, because when people are told not to laugh at something that was obviously meant to be funny, that kind of ignorance is just wild. It's like common sense has left the planet. On top of that, there was so much silence that you could hear crickets roasted on live TV in front of millions of people, and not a single person on that panel could respond. Not a word. Let's face it, what can you say when the truth hits that hard?
At best.
Are you at all concerned about the innocent civilians that have been collectively punished and murdered, largely children and women? And are you at all concerned about the fact that the International Criminal Court just today issued a subpoena for Bibi Netanyahu?
Well, that's ridiculous, but it's a war.
Why?
It's a war. Because it's a war, and they were attacked, and they're defending themselves. Now, this is a war. Do you think Hamas needs to be destroyed? This is the question.
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
So how can we get out with a ceasefire?
All right. So Hamas needs to be destroyed because they are a terrorist organization who say openly that they want to commit genocide on the Jewish people, on the state of Israel. That's what from the river to the sea means. okay? And they say it very openly. They say, we did this attack. They've attacked Israel 5 times. They've started 5 wars since they were given that land back. They could have chosen to turn that place into any place they wanted to, and they took a lot of money that they took from the international community and they spent it on bombs and guns and building tunnels. So if they need to be destroyed, how do we do that? It's a war. I don't know how to do that, and you don't know how to do that. I assume the Israeli... Of course, everybody is, but that's what happens in a war. Here's a way to stop that. Stop attacking Israel.
And stop calling for the annihilation of Israel. And all the Jews, they're calling for the annihilation of the Jews.
When Joy Bahar opened her mouth and abruptly blurted out that Joe Biden is doing well, it revealed everything. The so-called woke crowd backed themselves into a corner, cheering for the wrong side while turning their backs on the very people they claim to stand up for. It's a full-blown identity crisis playing out in real time.
You basically go after Trump and Biden, both of them. And a lot of people are not happy with you about that.
Equally.
Well, not equally, because you know that Trump is doing more dangerous.
Of course. I mean, I don't think anybody was more out front on that danger than I was. I was talking about how he was never going to give up power long ago when everybody was laughing at me and said, you smoke too much pot. And I said, I smoke just the right amount of pot. Because plainly, I was using the term slow-moving coup before he was elected the first time.
That's right.
I said, this guy is never going to concede power. It's impossible to imagine him going, oh, I lost.
Yeah, you can't do it.
That's just not in his nature.
So, but I'm nervous about saying anything against Biden because I feel, not that I have so much power, and you have some more than I do, obviously, but...
Oh, I don't know about that.
Are you afraid that you might, influence people who are on the fence?
I think you lose all credibility. I do. I mean, my bond with my audience has always been I don't pull a punch.
Yeah.
My bond with my audience is you're not going to like everything I say, but I'm saying what I really think is true.
Right.
That's
Right.
Biden just presents as old. It's not really fair.
No.
Because he's almost the same age. Trump is almost the same age as him.
I know.
But Trump doesn't present that way. You look at somebody right away, you can kind of just sum them up. I mean, we are not young, but we don't present as old.
Yeah.
Biden does. I saw him yesterday making that speech.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, he's cadaver-like.
But his brain is good. He's still great.
Well, here's what I said. Like when I came back after the strike in September, I said, he should get out. Because he's just lost the faith of people. It's not fair. He's actually done a pretty good job. But I said, he's going to be Ruth Bader Biden. That's the term I used. Ruth Bader Ginsburg. She stayed too long at the fair. I remember Obama had her over to the White House, like in 2013, to hint, hey, spend more time with the grandkids. That would not be a good idea, Ruth. And she didn't take the hint, and she was not in good health, and she stayed too long, and she ruined her legacy and got the Supreme Court now to be.
What show is she watching? No shade? But really, I've been searching all year for one big victory from Biden, and I haven't found it. If anything positive is happening, it's hiding like a needle in a haystack, and no one has discovered it yet. Meanwhile, the far left keeps getting themselves into more trouble, acting like they have a shovel in one hand and denial in the other.
Finally, new rule. Someone must tell the usual suspects on the far left that the saying is, when you're in a hole, stop digging, not keep digging. Talk about doubling down on what got you in the first place. Even the one concession I've heard a few people on the losing side offer, that liberals should stop saying the Trump voters are stupid, comes with a kind of unspoken parentheses. We know they are stupid, just don't say it. Yeah, I got bad news for you. They don't have a monopoly on stupid. You wear Queers for Palestine t-shirts and masks 2 years after the pandemic ended. And you can't define woman, person who menstruates. You're the teachers union education party, and you've turned schools and colleges into a joke. You just lost a crazy contest to an actual crazy person.
It's merely a joke or a truth that they dislike. The same old tiresome routine is used each time, with exaggerated facial expressions of false outrage. The outrage is staged, the empathy is an act, and the activism is at best half-baked. What they really care about is keeping their followers emotionally energized and unaware of the true game being played. They make dramatic gasps as if they're trying out for a low-budget soap opera, but let's be honest for a moment. They don't care about you, me, or anyone outside of their small echo chamber of groupthink hashtags.
Become like a royal family that, because of so much incest, has unfortunately had children who are retarded. And the same thing can happen to ideas if they are also conceived in an atmosphere of intellectual incest. Maybe take the clothespins off your noses and actually converse with the other half of the country. Stop screaming at people to get with the program and instead make a program worth getting with.
Now this is where it gets really disturbing. Saying the quiet part aloud has actually become their brand, and no one has been louder with these unfiltered mask-off moments than the far-left media. They don't even try to hide it anymore, and the bias is right in your face. Whether you love him or not, voices like Bill Maher are speaking out against the madness head-on without sugarcoating it or tiptoeing, bringing it into the open and daring anyone to question it. He's exposing the double standards, the fake politics, and the way these people twist every story to make themselves appear morally superior in the moment. Let's also talk about The View for a moment because, wow, that crew genuinely acts like they have some divine compass that makes them always right. Their question, wait, could we be wrong here, is never raised. No.
Things like, well, you can't fix stupid. Sorry, that doesn't work with me. Yeah, you're stupid because you're not thinking about the bigger picture. You're not thinking about maybe we did something wrong. Maybe we're not perfect. It's like a relationship. You got dumped. America dumped you, and they're all like, you don't know what you had. Yes, they do. They know what they had, and what they're saying is, we know what we had, and you're a mess.
They talk over guests, silence dissent, and wrap it all up in this smug little package of self-righteousness. But what Bill Maher said next wasn't just bold, it was surgical. He went in with precision, calling out the exact things that no one else in mainstream media has had the courage to say aloud. Now, I'm not saying that we should follow him blindly because let's face it, he's had his share of wild takes. But when someone like him begins to pull back the curtain on live national TV and reveal just how far gone the left has gone, you can bet I'm watching.
And PBS testified before Congress this week amid accusations of liberal bias. Should the government continue to send taxpayer dollars to public broadcasters? Well, a little background here. I mean, they've been after them the Republicans have wanted to get rid of PBS for as long as I can remember. This crowd will probably do it. I mean, I also read my namesake, Catherine Maher, was head of NPR, and, she said, we're completely unbiased. Give me a break, lady. I mean, they're crazy far left. So, I mean, I think we're past the age, really, where the government, first of all, why do we need to subsidize? Why can't we have outlets like this? And we're so polarized. These outlets became popular at a time when Republicans and Democrats didn't hate each other and weren't at each other's throats and didn't think each other was an existential threat. In that world, you can't have places like this, I think, anymore. They have to be private.
Perhaps we are the issue. They would rather ride this train right into a wall than acknowledge that they have been heading in the wrong direction every single day. The left is becoming more and more ridiculous. It's like watching a slow-motion car crash. You don't want to look, but you can't help but stare. They aren't making any real progress, and even their most devoted supporters are now quietly backing off. Let's not forget about the media, as their empire is beginning to fall apart in front of our very eyes. The wildest part is that they were the ones shouting at everyone about cutting government funding, saying things like, if your business can't survive without federal dollars, maybe it's time to rethink your model and make content people actually want to see. You can't shout truth matters 1 minute and then twist facts the next. Trust me, people will notice eventually. It's like poetic justice with more cringe. They built an entire empire on outrage, identity politics, and cancel culture, and now they're choking on their own strategy when your entire model depends on being angry. Yes, those bold words back then are still true, but fast forward to the present, and the irony is off the charts because that same statement now hits them harder than anyone else. Their media outlets are flopping, their ratings are crashing, and viewers are tuning out in record numbers. You don't have to love Bill Maher. You don't even have to agree with everything he says. However, when he's speaking up about something that no one else on mainstream TV has the courage to say, I'm listening because, let's face it, people are waking up and seeing the spin for what it is. They're tired of being told what to think, what to feel, and who to cancel. The old playbook isn't working anymore. Audiences want real conversations, real accountability, and yes, real honesty, even when it's messy. If that resonates with you, don't just scroll by hitting the like button. Instead, leave a comment and click subscribe because we're just getting started.